They thought they could easily replace you. They believed you were just another piece in the puzzle, a cog in the machine, someone they could discard and swap out without a second thought. But here's the truth they didn't realize. You were the glue holding it all together, the spark that set everything in motion, the energy that elevated the entire dynamic. Being replaced, whether in a relationship, a friendship, or even at work, cuts deeper than most things. It's not just the act of being cast aside, it's the feeling of being undervalued, as if all the effort, care, and presence you brought was invisible. And here's the part that stings the most. They act like they can do better without you. But let me ask you this. What if being replaced wasn't a curse? What if it was a gift? What if their decision to overlook your value was the very thing that would ignite the fire within you to rise higher than ever before? Welcome to Stoic Blessing, where we take life's toughest blows and use them as stepping stones to greatness. Today, we're talking about what it means when someone thinks they can replace you, why their assumption is fundamentally flawed, and how you can use this moment to reclaim your power. The Stoics taught us that external events, other people's opinions, actions, or decisions, are beyond our control. What we can control is our mindset, our actions, and our response to those events. And that's where your strength lies. Rejection, it's not a reflection of your worth. Being replaced, it doesn't define your value. Those are just external ripples in a much larger ocean. And here's where dark psychology comes into play. The moment someone decides you're replaceable, they underestimate you. They make the mistake of thinking you're ordinary, interchangeable, someone they won't miss. But this miscalculation, it's the ultimate blind spot. Because when you tap into your power, your growth, and your resilience, they'll see what they lost too late. But here's the thing, you're not doing this for them. This isn't about proving them wrong or seeking revenge. This is about stepping into your full potential because you refuse to let someone else's opinion dictate your destiny. The best response isn't bitterness, it's transformation. It's becoming so strong, so grounded, and so fulfilled that the very idea of being replaceable becomes laughable. So let me ask you, are you ready to own this moment? Are you ready to turn their dismissal into fuel for your fire? If so, take a second to affirm it right now. Drop a comment below with the phrase, "I am beyond replacement." Let's declare it together, right here, right now. And if this resonates with you, hit that like button to show your commitment to rising above rejection. This video isn't just about surviving being replaced, it's about thriving because of it. Let's dive in and uncover the strength that's already inside you. Let's start by addressing the harsh reality. Why do people think you're replaceable in the first place? It's not because you lack value, it's because they fail to see it. Human beings are often blind to what's right in front of them. We're wired to take the familiar for granted. When you consistently show up for someone, whether it's in a relationship, a friendship, or even at work, they become accustomed to your presence, your effort, and your energy. Over time, they stop noticing the small things you bring to the table. Your reliability becomes routine, your value becomes invisible, and this is where the illusion begins. They convince themselves that they can find someone else to do what you do. But here's the truth, they're not seeing you, they're seeing a projection of their own ego. The belief that you're replaceable is often a reflection of their inability to appreciate depth. It's easier for them to assume they can find better elsewhere than to look closely at what they already have. Dark psychology tells us that people often undervalue what they think they've figured out. Predictability can breed complacency. If they think they know you, your habits, your strengths, your patterns, they might start to believe they can find the same qualities in someone else without the effort of maintaining what they already have with you. But here's the irony. The very qualities that make you replaceable in their eyes are often the ones they'll struggle to find in anyone else. Your consistency, your loyalty, your unique perspective. Those things aren't interchangeable. And when the dust settles, When the novelty of their new choice fades, they'll feel the void of what they gave up. The Stoics remind us to view these moments with clarity. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Their inability to see your worth is an event outside of your control. What is in your control is how you choose to interpret it. Will you let their lack of vision define you, or will you use it as an opportunity to double down on your own growth and value? Here's the hard truth you need to embrace. People may not always recognize your worth in the moment, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Their perception, or lack thereof, doesn't diminish the light you carry. It just means they weren't ready or willing to see it. So, let me ask you, are you ready to stop seeking validation from people who can't see your value? If you are, drop a comment below with the phrase, "My value is undeniable." Let's affirm together that we don't need others to define what's already within us. And if this hits home for you, hit that like button to show your commitment to rising above their short-sightedness. Remember, they might think you're replaceable now, but your true value isn't something they'll be able to ignore forever. Let's talk about the psychological weight of being replaced. It's not just about the act itself, it's about the story your mind starts to tell you. When someone moves on, casts you aside, or thinks they've found something better, it can trigger one of the deepest fears we all share, the fear of not being enough. This is where dark psychology reveals the hidden layers. Being replaced can feel like rejection, but more than that, it feels like invalidation. Your mind begins to replay every moment, every effort you gave, questioning whether any of it mattered. It's easy to spiral into a narrative that says, "I wasn't good enough, I wasn't important enough." But here's the truth. They didn't replace you because you weren't enough. They replaced you because they didn't understand your value. And here's the kicker. Most of the time, the person who replaces you is chasing something new, not something better. Novelty is a powerful drug. Dark psychology teaches us that people are drawn to what's unfamiliar because it sparks excitement, curiosity, and a sense of adventure. But novelty fades, and when it does, they're left with the reality of what they've chosen. And this is where regret begins to creep in. You see, when someone undervalues you and moves on, they often do so under the illusion that what you brought to the table was easy to find elsewhere. They don't realize that what made you unique wasn't just what you did, but how you did it. Your energy, your authenticity, your presence. These aren't things that can be replaced. They're things that leave a void. But let me flip the script for a moment. The real question isn't about why they replaced you or what they're doing now. The real question is, how will you respond? This is where the Stoics offer clarity. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Their decision to replace you isn't what defines you. Your growth, your resilience, and your transformation are what define you. And here's something else to consider. Being replaced doesn't mean you lost. In fact, it might be the universe's way of removing someone from your life who couldn't fully appreciate or match your energy. Sometimes rejection is redirection. So, let me ask you, are you ready to stop dwelling on their choice and start focusing on your transformation? If you are, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I am irreplaceable." Let's affirm that no one else's decision can diminish our worth. And if this resonates with you, smash that like button to show your commitment to rising above their short-sightedness. Remember, being replaced isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter where you reclaim your power and your path. When you're faced with the sting of being replaced, it's easy to let emotions take over. Anger, sadness, frustration, they can all feel overwhelming. But here's the thing, emotions, while valid, don't have to control you. And this is where the wisdom of Stoicism becomes your anchor. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the idea of focusing only on what you can control. Think about it. You can't control their decision to replace you. You can't control their inability to see your value. But what you can control is how you interpret the situation and how you choose to move forward. This isn't just a philosophical concept. It's your superpower. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What does this mean for you? It means that their actions don't have to define you. Their choice doesn't have to determine your worth. You are the one who decides how much mental space this situation takes up. Another key principle of Stoicism is amor fati, which translates to love of fate. This doesn't mean you have to be happy about being replaced, but it does mean accepting it as part of your journey. Instead of resisting the situation or obsessing over why it happened, embrace it as an opportunity for growth. Ask yourself, what lessons can I learn from this? How can I use this to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient? The Stoics also emphasize the importance of detachment. This doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent. It means not tying your sense of self to external outcomes. When you detach from the need for their validation, you free yourself. You realize that your worth isn't dependent on their choices. It's something that's always been within you. Here's a practical way to apply these principles. Whenever you feel overwhelmed by emotions or tempted to dwell on their actions, pause, take a deep breath. Remind yourself, this is outside of my control. My response is my power. Then shift your focus to something productive. Exercise, journaling, or working toward a personal goal. Over time, this practice will rewire your mind to prioritize growth over reaction. So, let me ask you, are you ready to embrace these Stoic principles and take back control of your narrative? If you are, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I control my response." Let's affirm together that we're not defined by what happens to us. We're defined by how we rise from it. And if you're feeling inspired by these timeless teachings, hit that like button to show your commitment to staying grounded and unshakable. Remember, their decision may have been outside your control, but your growth, your mindset, and your future are entirely up to you. Here's a truth that's hard to grasp when you've been replaced. Your value isn't determined by how others see you. It's not tied to whether they stay, leave, or come back. Your value is something intrinsic. It's a part of you, not something they get to define. But let's be honest, when someone replaces you, it can feel like a direct attack on your worth. You might start questioning yourself, replaying every interaction, wondering what you could have done differently. This cycle is exhausting, and worse, it distracts you from the truth of who you are. Let's break it down. What is value? Value isn't about being perfect, and it's not about meeting someone else's expectations. Value is about being authentic, showing up fully, and living in alignment with your principles. It's about what you bring to the table, your perspective, your energy, your loyalty. These are not things that can be replicated or replaced. The problem isn't that you lack value, the problem is that they didn't recognize it. And that's not your fault. Some people don't have the capacity to appreciate depth. They see what's easy, what's shiny, what's convenient. But you're not meant to fit into someone else's shallow view of the world. Your worth doesn't depend on whether they can see it. It depends on whether you believe in it. The Stoics remind us of this again and again. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than his ambitions." In other words, your value is determined by the life you create for yourself, not by the opinions of others. When you shift your focus from external validation to internal fulfillment, you unlock a power that no one can take from you. So how do you reclaim your value after being replaced? First, stop comparing yourself to the person they chose over you. They're not you, and they never will be. Your unique qualities, Your perspective, your kindness, your strength are irreplaceable. No comparison is necessary because there's no competition. Second, use this as a wake-up call to invest in yourself. If you've been undervaluing your own strengths or neglecting your growth, now is the time to change that. Focus on building the life you want, independent of their opinion. Whether it's learning a new skill, pursuing a passion, or improving your physical and mental health, every step you take towards self-improvement reaffirms your value. Finally, remember this. People often don't recognize value until it's gone. Their inability to see your worth now doesn't mean they won't regret it later. But that regret? It's not your concern. Your concern is becoming the best version of yourself, for yourself, not for them. So let me ask you, are you ready to claim your true value and stop tying it to the opinions of others? If you are, drop a comment below with the phrase, "My value is unshakable." Let's declare together that our worth comes from within, not from the fleeting judgments of others. And if this resonates with you, hit that like button to show your commitment to living with confidence and purpose. Remember, their inability to see your value doesn't mean you don't have it. It just means they weren't capable of appreciating it. When someone thinks they can replace you, it's easy to feel powerless. But here's the truth. No one can take your power from you unless you hand it over. Reclaiming your power isn't about revenge or proving them wrong. It's about stepping into the strength that's always been inside you. The first step in reclaiming your power is to take your focus off them. Stop wondering what they're doing, who they're with, or whether they'll realize their mistake. The more energy you give to their actions, the less you have for your own growth. Redirect that energy back to yourself. Ask, what do I want? What do I need to do to move forward? Next, set boundaries, not just with them, but with yourself. Boundaries are about protecting your energy and deciding what you will and won't tolerate in your life. If they try to come back into your life later, those boundaries will ensure you're making decisions from a place of strength, not desperation. And if they don't come back, those boundaries will still serve you by keeping your focus on what truly matters, your own growth and happiness. Reclaiming your power also means taking control of your narrative. When someone replaces you, it's tempting to let their actions define your story. But here's the thing, you're the author of your life, not them. This chapter isn't about being rejected, it's about rising stronger. What kind of story do you want to tell about yourself? One where you let their actions break you, or one where you use their dismissal as the spark for your transformation? Another key to reclaiming your power is practicing gratitude, not for them, but for the lessons this experience is teaching you. Gratitude shifts your perspective. Instead of seeing this as a setback, you start to see it as an opportunity. You're learning how to value yourself, how to protect your energy, and how to become someone who doesn't settle for less than they deserve. And let's not forget the role of action. Power isn't just about how you think, it's about what you do. Start small, set a goal, achieve it, and build momentum. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a reminder that your life is moving forward, even without them. Whether it's working on your physical health, pursuing a passion, or advancing in your career, every action you take is a declaration that you're in control. Here's a truth you need to remember. Power isn't given, it's claimed. You don't need their recognition to validate your worth. You don't need their approval to feel complete. The moment you stop waiting for them to acknowledge your value, you reclaim your freedom. So let me ask you, are you ready to reclaim your power and take control of your life? If you are, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I claim my power." Let's affirm together that our strength comes from within, not from anyone else's opinion. And if this message resonates, hit that like button to show your commitment to stepping into your full potential. Remember, reclaiming your power isn't about changing them, it's about becoming the unstoppable version of yourself. When someone thinks they can replace you, Words won't change their mind. Begging, explaining, or trying to prove your worth through conversation only pushes you further into their shadow. Why? Because the more you try to convince them, the more you reinforce their belief that you need their validation. Instead, let your actions do the talking. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They taught that a virtuous life, one rooted in action and principle, speaks louder than any words ever could. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In other words, don't argue your worth, live it. Here's the truth. Your actions are your strongest statement. They show resilience, growth, and transformation in ways words never can. When you focus on your personal growth, physically, mentally, and emotionally, you're sending a clear message to the world. I don't need you to see my value for it to exist. That kind of energy is magnetic, and it's far more effective than trying to prove a point. Start by setting goals that have nothing to do with them. Whether it's advancing your career, pursuing a passion, or improving your health, these goals aren't about impressing anyone. They're about fulfilling your own potential. Each milestone you reach sends a silent but powerful signal. You're thriving, not just surviving. Next, embrace the power of consistency. The world is full of people who make grand gestures and empty promises, but consistency is rare. Show up for yourself every day. Keep working on your goals, even when no one is watching. Over time, your steady progress will speak volumes. And here's where dark psychology comes into play. Actions create contrast. While they may expect you to fall apart, your growth becomes a mirror reflecting their mistake. Your transformation makes their decision to replace you harder to justify, even to themselves. But here's the key. You're not doing this for them. You're doing it for you. Their regret, if it comes, is just a byproduct of your journey. Silence is another powerful action. When you refuse to engage in arguments, drama, or attempts to win them back, you demonstrate emotional strength. Silence isn't passive, it's deliberate. It shows that you're too focused on your growth to waste energy on proving your worth to someone who failed to see it. Finally, remember that your actions should be rooted in authenticity. This isn't about pretending to be something you're not or putting on a show. True power comes from living in alignment with your values and being unapologetically yourself. When your actions come from a place of authenticity, they resonate far deeper than anything you could ever say. So let me ask you, are you ready to let your actions do the talking? If you are, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I speak through my actions." Let's affirm that we're not here to argue our worth, we're here to live it. And if this resonates with you, hit that like button to show your commitment to taking meaningful, consistent steps toward your growth. Remember, the strongest statement you can make isn't spoken, it's lived. Here's the irony of being replaced. The same people who thought they could do better without you often find themselves regretting that decision. At first, they may seem confident in their choice. They might even flaunt their new direction, believing they've upgraded. But over time, reality sets in, and this is where regret begins to creep in. You see, the people who underestimate you don't realize what they've lost until it's gone. The novelty of their new choice starts to wear off. The excitement fades, and they begin to notice the void you left behind. What they replaced you with can't match the depth, energy, and authenticity you brought to the table. That's when they start looking back. This regret doesn't always come with an apology or an admission of their mistake. Sometimes it's subtle, a random text, a social media comment, or a sudden interest in your life. They might not even acknowledge their regret outright, but their actions speak volumes. It's not about them missing you specifically, it's about missing what you represented: stability, loyalty, authenticity, or something else they can't find anywhere else. But here's the thing, when their regret comes knocking, it's not your responsibility to answer. Their regret is theirs to carry, not yours to fix. Remember, they replaced you because they thought they could find better. Let them sit with the weight of that choice. You don't owe them validation or closure. Your focus should remain on the life you're building and the growth you've achieved. And let's be honest, sometimes their regret isn't even about you. It's about realizing that their choice didn't bring the happiness or fulfillment they expected. It's about them, not you. That's why it's so important to detach from their feelings. Their regret might feel satisfying, but it shouldn't be the reason you're growing. Your growth should be for you, not for their validation. This is where Stoicism offers clarity. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." In other words, don't let their regret pull you back into the drama. You've risen above the situation. You've grown stronger, wiser, and more grounded. Don't let their choices or their regret dictate your path forward. If they do reach out, approach it with calm and detachment. You're not here to gloat, argue, or seek closure. You're here to live your life with integrity. Respond only if it aligns with your principles and goals, not because you feel obligated. And if you choose not to respond, that silence speaks louder than any words ever could. So, let me ask you, are you ready to let their regret be theirs while you keep thriving? If you are, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I move forward, not backward." Let's affirm that we're not here to dwell on the past. We're here to build the future. And if this message resonates, hit that like button to show your commitment to staying focused on your own journey. Remember, their regret doesn't define your value. Your strength, growth, and resilience do. Rejection has a unique power. It can either break you or build you, and the choice is entirely yours. When someone thinks they can replace you, it's easy to feel hurt, betrayed, or even defeated. But what if you could take that rejection, that pain, and turn it into the very thing that drives you toward success? Here's the truth. Rejection isn't the end of the road. It's a redirection. It's the universe's way of showing you who truly values you and where your energy is better spent. And while it's tempting to dwell on the why they replaced you, why they couldn't see your worth, that's energy wasted. Instead, focus on what you can do with this moment. The Stoics taught that adversity is an opportunity. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, what feels like a roadblock is actually the path forward. When someone underestimates you, let that become your fuel, not to prove them wrong, but to prove to yourself what you're capable of. Start by channeling your energy into something meaningful. Rejection can create an emotional storm, but storms have power. Use that energy to level up, invest in yourself, dive into your passions, set goals that excite and challenge you. Every time you feel the sting of rejection, let it remind you to focus harder on your growth. But here's the key. Your success shouldn't be about them. It's not about making them regret their choice or showing off your transformation. It's about becoming the best version of yourself because you deserve it. When your motivation comes from within, it becomes unstoppable. Dark psychology also teaches us the power of reframing rejection. Instead of seeing it as a sign of failure, see it as a filter. Their decision to replace you says more about them than it does about you. It reveals their priorities, their limitations, and their inability to appreciate what you offered. Let their choice be the catalyst that pushes you to rise above, not to sink to their level. One of the most powerful things you can do is redefine success on your terms. Maybe it's financial independence, personal growth, or inner peace. Whatever it is, let your goals be so big, so fulfilling, that their opinion becomes irrelevant. Remember this, rejection is temporary, but the growth it can spark is permanent. The more you invest in yourself, the less their actions will matter. Over time, you'll look back on this moment not as a loss, but as the turning point that propelled you toward greatness. So, let me ask you, Are you ready to turn rejection into fuel for your transformation? If you are, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I rise from rejection." Let's affirm that we're not just surviving setbacks, we're thriving because of them. And if this resonates, hit that like button to show your commitment to using every challenge as a stepping stone. Remember, rejection isn't the end. It's the spark that lights the fire of your next chapter. So they thought they could easily replace you. They believed your value was temporary, that they could find what you bring to the table anywhere else. But here's the reality. They were wrong. What they failed to see is that you are irreplaceable, not because you're perfect, but because there's only one you. This isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a powerful transformation. Every rejection, every underestimation, and every dismissal is a chance to redefine yourself, to rise stronger, and to become a version of you that no one can ignore. The question is, will you let their decision break you, or will you let it build you? The Stoics remind us to control what we can and let go of what we cannot. Their failure to see your worth, that's outside your control. Your ability to rise, to grow, and to thrive, that's entirely within your hands. You don't need to chase them, convince them, or prove anything to them. Your growth, your success, and your strength will speak for themselves. As you move forward, remember this. The best response isn't revenge, it's elevation. It's about creating a life so fulfilling and purposeful that their decision becomes irrelevant. They may regret their choice, or they may not. Either way, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you've taken this experience and used it to propel yourself forward. So let me ask you, are you ready to claim your power and rise above their short-sightedness? If you are, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I rise above." Let's make a declaration together that no one's opinion, decision, or mistake can define us. And if this video has inspired you, make sure to like and subscribe to Stoic Blessing. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video on how to master yourself and your mindset. Let's continue building this community of strength, resilience, and purpose. Thank you for watching. Remember, you are not replaceable. Your worth is not tied to anyone's ability to see it, and your strength lies in your ability to rise no matter what. Until next time, stay strong, stay grounded, and as always, choose power over reaction.